Okay. All right. Hello, everybody. It's your boy Kirby DK10 here, coming at you with another podcast episode. We are on podcast 68. I'm here with my co-host Meta.
What is up, gamers?
Yeah, we've been having a pretty good week. This week, I got back into playing Modern Warfare 3. It should be the gameplay for this episode. And I just kind of wanted to maybe revisit a little bit on that game. I think it's actually better than Black Ops 6. I know Meta hasn't really played any Call of Duty games recently, but yeah, I think going back, I really do miss that game, and I wish we would have had 2 years with it, but whatever.
Damn. Wow. You're talking about the original MW3
No, I'm talking about the new one.
or the recent one?
The recent,
okay.
yeah.
Yeah, I mean, because compared to 2019, I think 2019 was a little better, but MW3 really went back to that formula because it kind of went like MW 2019, then MW2 tried to be too different, and it was just kind of like mid, and then yeah, I don't know what caused that though. I don't know why MW2 is so different.
Yeah, and then I mean, obviously, like Cold War and Vanguard was just trying to be MW2 or MW19 again. So, and then MW2 was trying to be way too realistic for a COD game. So I think that's really what killed it.
Yeah, that probably could have been it.
But yeah, I guess we'll just hop right into it with our first story here. I know this has been on the news quite a bit, but there was a new pope, and he is the first American pope. He took the papal name Leo the 14th, and
Dang.
he actually does play video games. He
Far too based.
his his brother was in an interview. He has two brothers, and his brother said, first we do Wordle, and then to keep and then we do Words with Friends to keep his mind off of life in the real world, which is pretty based. Apparently they talked before the conclave, and he had seen the movie Conclave, and he said, so you know what to do now because you've seen that movie.
Dang,
Kind of funny.
based. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. How do you feel? How do you feel about the new pope?
Well, I don't think it's a surprise. I think we've talked about the podcast before that we definitely lean a little bit more conservative. Obviously Catholicism in itself is a little bit more right conservative leaning, just obviously based off of its kind of values and principles and everything it lays out. I'm hopeful. He is an American pope, which is awesome. So it's time for a Starbucks in the Vatican. But also, I've heard some concerning things, and I've heard some good things. I was hoping for a little bit more conservative values in a pope, but we will see. Where he lands on that spectrum. It's only time will tell. The church inherently has values that can't be changed or shouldn't be changed, and it's been quite a few interesting years with old Francis, even before we were looking into Catholicism.
Yeah, I think we've talked a little bit about sort of our conversion and our entering into the church a little bit. Not a whole lot. I think we mentioned it maybe once or twice on the podcast, but yeah,
we try not to talk about it constantly or anything.
Yeah, and I think one of the biggest things for me is this pope. He feels more like a moderate, maybe like a centrist, and very much like he likes to listen to both sides, and he makes very measured responses. Whereas Francis, and again, I did like Francis on certain issues. He was very based, but he would often like speak off the cuff. What?
Nothing. I'm gonna move my mic up a little bit so I don't
Oh.
breathe right into it. Sorry, folks.
Well, yeah, he would speak very off the cuff, and this Pope seems to be very measured and very calculated with what he says. It's also weird to have the Holy Father speak like fluent English. It's just very odd to see, and that's definitely going to be something that I'm going to have to get used to because it's just different. But I think it's different in a good way, and I think he'll be able to kind of see like be very like neutral on like tradition versus like the modernists in the church, and I think he'll be able to walk that very finely, mainly because he does speak English. At least for American Catholics, you won't be I think we won't be as confused as it was with Francis, where sometimes he was speaking Italian, so it was hard to understand what he was. You get like different translators who translate stuff differently, so I think it'll be good that he's English. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I look forward to it. I don't know. There's not there. I don't think there's too much to say. Because the Pope in Catholicism to me has always seemed more of a I don't want to say just figurehead, because they do determine a lot of policy and stuff, but in a way they kind of are more of a figurehead than like an actual governing force, unless they go through the steps or whatever, and yeah, things change very slowly in the church, and yeah, I don't know. It'll be interesting. I'm a little concerned because he's from where?
Chicago. Yeah.
We all know what Chicago's all about, so you know, I wouldn't be surprised if we see a left-leaning pope again in this guy, but I don't know. He seems fairly middle ground.
Yeah.
I don't know. No. I guess if I can take us to the next thing here, and this is the complete opposite of what we were just talking about. So there is. Oh no, I just had it pulled up. Oh, there is a game that I found on Reddit, and the title was "Our game wasn't crazy enough, so we added fire and a big ass demon." And clearly, it was just a promo post for their game. It is a boomer shooter, and it's called Cyber Lich, CYBR Lich. It's a very edgy game. Your character is like always smoking a blunt and has like a sword and lights, like throws explosive Mountain Dew on the wall, and it's like a boomer shooter where you're fighting skeletons, and it looks. I really brought it up not because of the theme, but because of how good it looks. Like just the art style. It looks like an Adult Swim game almost.
Yeah, it's like very. I could see like Adult Swim, but everything's like drawn. It's interesting. You also like feed. I don't know if this is how you like reload, but you like feed this like little plant mouth looking thing. I don't know if that's supposed to be like your own mouth or like.
Dude, I don't know. I thought it was supposed to be your own mouth, but I'm not sure anymore. The more I watch it, I mean, it looks like a cool game. I don't think I would get it. I don't really like the theming or anything, and it's all just like red and white. But it looks really really good, and I kind of wanted to bring this up because I think boomer shooters are in for a big comeback. I mean, they've already been on a on a comeback recently with things like Ultrakill, or there's this one that I'm looking at right now called Angerfoot, where something about these boomer shooters, man. They're coming back, bro. Here's one, Iron Fury. I mean,
also Doom Eternal, right? That one, or Doom, was it Doom the Dark Ages?
there was the Bolt Gun game. If you all haven't played Warhammer Bolt Gun, it's a pretty good game. I have not played it. I've just watched it. Even Star Wars got in on it with a game called Star Wars Dark Forces remaster. Yeah, I'm kind of surprised that a genre. I did buy Ultrakill once, but it never ran on my computer. It was really annoying. It's just funny to me that this genre has come back with such heat. Here's a World War II theme one. Yeah,
Dang.
there's a ton of them.
I just want to mention
I just went
the
to
Dark
the Boomer Shooter tag on
Steam. Yeah, I just want to mention this. Doom the Dark Ages is coming out this week on the 15th. So I didn't realize it was coming out that soon.
Shoot, I didn't either. To be fair, I own both of the recent Dooms, both 2016 and the one after it. But I never played through them all the way.
Yeah, the one after it is $40 right now. It's pretty good.
They're good games. It's just
I never
committing
played
to a single player game is tough.
Yeah, I have 2016. I bought it like I think a year or two after it came out. It was never my style of game.
Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah. I think maybe now going back to it, I probably would enjoy it, but just at that time, I was into other games that I don't know. I thought single player first person shooters were kind of cringe.
Right. And I mean they're both good games. Ironically, I actually like playing through not the original, but like 64 a lot. I don't know. There's just something about the old ones that I like so much, and I don't know why the new ones just never hold my attention long enough.
Yeah.
Anyways, I just kind of want to talk about that. Interesting trend. There's a lot of good boomer shooters coming out. It might be a genre that I start playing a little bit because they're just good single-player experiences, and they always seem like they're pretty good value for money from what I can tell.
Yeah. I guess we move on to this other story.
Well.
Nintendo has responded to AI accusations around Mario Kart World. So, there were some accusations on, I'm assuming on Twitter, following the Nintendo Treehouse live stream, and some people perceived what they were seeing as AI generated, and Nintendo has come out and basically said that no, we haven't used generative AI, at least with Mario Kart World. And honestly, I think most people, the reason this is kind of coming up is that the game is $80 and they don't want to pay that, and I understand.
They're trying to find a way to get it lower.
Yeah.
That's certainly what it seems like to me, yeah. As people are kind of trying to find I almost want to say like a loophole to exploit, and then to bully them on Twitter and get them to reduce the price. But that's just kind of how I see it. Is that crazy? All right.
Yeah. Nintendo denied it. I mean, yeah. I think that's what it is. But it says Nintendo denied using AI to generate background imagery for the game. There are still other controversial features in Mario World. That's all. That's what this article says. I mean,
yeah.
Also the fact that a lot of people don't like that. If you do, you can choose between like the regular Mario Kart experience where you play 3 laps on a track and then you go to the next one with like a loading screen in between, or you can just have
Okay.
it to where you drive between the tracks. And I
Whoa.
believe there's not like a difference, like if you won't be able to get 3 stars or whatever and like golds on them. I'm assuming it'll all be the same no matter which option you choose. But people don't like
Mm,
that. It's basically just a straight path from one area to the next, or like one track to the next. Which, I mean, I don't know how else they could do that. How else they could make it like more
so how does
spiced
it
up.
work? Does it? Are you like driving on a straight road and then you land on the new track, or
So
like I'm not really?
basically,
How does the transition work?
it's like Mario Kart Tour where like you have arrows. Like you basically drive one lap of the track and then you have like arrows that point you to like the direction
Uh,
of like an off-road area, and then you like drive on that in between the tracks basically.
Understood.
And it's a lot of straightaways. It's a lot of, not, I guess, not really interacting too much. There are like some item boxes and stuff. So and also I think one thing to mention is most of the gameplay from this Nintendo Treehouse live event was recorded using like 50cc and 100cc. I don't think we've seen much 150 cc
Mm,
just yet, so I haven't made any judgments on it just yet because I only play
right.
150 because the other two are not very fun. Um, but
No,
yeah,
not at all.
I think that's about it
Okay.
for Mario Kart.
Yeah, I think I think people are pretty shower on it, and I can't blame people either. I know we've obviously have known that COD um, has been using AI art in Black Ops 6. It's very obvious from some of the mistakes that have happened. Um, so I'm not very surprised that people are digging around. That one I actually didn't know about the story, so that's actually new news to me.
Yep.
Um, so speaking of games coming out, we have remakes of Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 3 and 4. Um, the big news here is that Bam Margera, you all might know who he is, you might not. He was in the Jackass movies. He was part of the crew, the Jackass crew, where they did stupid stunts, jumped off stuff, uh, ate stupid stuff, harassed people. Um, yeah. And he was always a skateboarder. And so often in Jackass, I believe he did a few uh, dumb skateboard Jackass activities. But he is back as a secret skater in 3 and 4. He was in the originals of Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 3, which I don't know if you ever played. Did you ever play a Pro Skater game?
Nah, I don't think I ever played a. I think I played like a Pro Skater GBA game, but
Oh,
obviously
I
that's
think I
not.
know the one, yeah.
Obviously that's not like this. I played the. What was it, like Tony Hawk's Downhill something on the DS, like Downhill Mania or something like
Yeah.
that.
Downhill Skateland or something?
Yeah,
Or Downhill Ride? Might have been just Downhill Ride. And
and then
then there was
obviously,
Tony Hawk Skateland on the DS too.
I remember the like Wii game. I think it was Tony Hawk Ride.
Yes, with the board.
Yeah,
With the meme board.
that was crazy. But yeah, I've never actually played. I don't think I've ever played like a traditional skate game. Um, which is kind of crazy, but we
Well, I think you played Skate 2?
oh, I guess yeah,
Right?
I've never played any of like
The Tony Hawk
the
ones.
Tony Hawk ones, yeah. But
I did a little bit, but
I've always been a bigger fan. I think I like Skate 3 cuz it was or I think we played Skate. But I always liked it cuz it was more like realistic.
mhm.
while like the Tony Hawk games are more like, I mean,
Arcade.
obviously, it's kind of, you can't really create like a realistic skate game completely, but I think it's more realistic than Tony Hawk.
Oh right, yeah. Yeah, for sure.
But yeah,
A realistic skate game would be kind of boring, I think, but maybe not.
I mean, watching the footage for this, it does look really good. So
It does look pretty good. Um, they were good games. They were good games. um, yeah, the Tony Hawk's Pro Skaters are always cool games. I don't know where it's coming out on. Maybe Steam. Um, Let me see.
it just says Activision at the end of the trailer. It doesn't say what game consoles.
Tony Hawk Pro Skater 3 and 4 coming out in 2025 on Steam.
July 11th. Nice.
Yep.
You got a reveal date for it?
10th.
Oh.
I'm getting 10th on Steam, but maybe 11th is official. Maybe one of them's wrong, but
It says
sometime in there.
It says 11th on the trailer, so I don't know.
Oh, all right.
Interesting. Maybe they did a typo.
Maybe there's yeah, or maybe there's some. Maybe that's a way to manipulate Steam. I don't know. I don't know.
Oh, it's coming out at 11:59. You know.
Oh.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
No, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. Anyways, they're fun games. Oh, there is a Doom enemy. There's Doom guy as well. I'm seeing in the trailer. You can play as like one of the Doom rocket shooter enemies or as Doom guy. Playing as the Doom rocket shooter enemy seems kind of funny. I don't know who would do that, but go off, King.
Bro. Well, I guess we'll move on.
I'm excited. I might actually get that. I love these games. They were fun. The second one had a bike that you could unlock, and that was actually more fun, I thought, than the skateboard. But, maybe I'm crazy.
Yeah. I guess we'll talk about this next story a little bit.
No.
Dead by Daylight is crossing over with FNAF and The Witcher.
Oh, boy.
And so, Dead by Daylight announced their FNAF collab as well as the Witcher collab on the same day. And with it, you can play as Springtrap from FNAF, and then from The Witcher. Let me look. I'm not sure who you can play from as The Witcher, but I've obviously I'm more excited for FNAF because I'm more familiar with that series. But let's see. Oh, I think you can play as Geralt, Ciri, Yennefer, Triss, and Eredin.
Okay.
All from The Witcher. I'm assuming they're all survivors, and maybe one of those is a killer. Because you obviously have two roles in this game.
Who were they?
Gerald, Ciri, Yennefer, Triss, and Eredin.
Probably. Is it Eredin? Is he the bad guy? Yeah, Eredin is the bad guy. I'm right. He definitely has to be the killer. He's a skeleton guy with a giant sword.
Yeah, there's not too many images of this as we've seen. We also see that Springtrap pulls off. It looks like he can pull off his helmet, and there's actually a guy under there. So, and I'm assuming that's William Afton, which is pretty cool. I think this might be the
face
first
reveal.
I think this might be the first time we actually had a face reveal, unironically, because I don't think they showed that in the FNAF movie. But
FNAF face reveal. Yeah. Okay. Go off. Pop off, King. Here's my question. I had a roommate that was really really into Dead by Daylight. I thought it was honestly kind of a boring game. I think I actually own it. But it was really annoying because he insisted, whenever we played, he insisted that like we do like 1v1s where like one of us was the killer and one of us was the like survivor, and it was obviously just a chance for him to like farm me as I like learned the game, and I was like, all right, bro. Um, but what do you
He
think of Dead
always
by Daylight?
he always does that, but
Yeah, is that a
honestly,
game that you would even play?
I think it really would be a good game to play with our other friend who's a lot more chill about video games and doesn't really care. Um,
Mm.
and play with him and a couple other friends could be pretty fun. I think like playing with randoms though is like not really ideal for that kind of game. Um, that's just kind
Yeah,
of me.
I I would agree. Um, yeah, that friend often was playing with randoms as well, so maybe he just wanted an excuse to steamroll me.
Yeah, I don't know.
But it
I
certainly
guess
worked as far as me never playing the game again.
yeah, I guess I could. I'm kind of interested. I've seen quite a bit of people who have enjoyed the game. Um,
Mm.
and I'm always down to try it, but if I got it, I would need someone to play it with. I would need people to play with. So yeah,
Yeah, yeah. I don't think it's a. I don't think it's a solo game at all. I played it a little bit. I wouldn't mind playing it with people, but it's not my type of thing.
yeah,
Cool game though. I'm glad they're getting some collabs. That's big. That's big.
yeah.
Big stuff. Big stuff. I'm waiting on a big story for next week. With a collab and a game, but we will see what ends up with that. I guess moving on, there is a game releasing on PlayStation called Captain Blood, and it looks like a game from the Xbox 360 era. Um, but it is a pirate game where you have a ship and you go around and you raid other ships and you raid docks and you raid uh, ports. It. I can't tell. I, I I think it's a single player game.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure this looks pretty single player.
Um, but I just wanted to say one thing. There's been a lot of pirate games that have released recently. My main issue is that a lot of pirate games that have released recently are all like multiplayer PvP, like survival based games. And I'm really excited that a single player game, also you can get the Assassin's Creed Hidden Blade. Whoa. I'm glad a single player pirate game is coming out. And if y'all haven't seen this trailer, it's really, really sick. There's like a rotating blunderbuss, giant swords, giant axes, melee combos. Looks like a skill tree, and of course there are some quick time events, but it definitely looks like a game straight out of the 2000s. Boss fights, and I don't know. I'm kind of digging it. The second time I'm watching this trailer.
Yeah, I like it as like a more cartoony fictional depiction for like a pirate game. I think it's actually really good. Um, I've been listening to the soundtrack for Assassin's Creed 4, Black Flag, and I really like how that game depicted pirates, and just like the era of golden pirating, and I just I liked how realistic that game was, but this seems more fictional and kind of I think it's like a beat 'em up style game.
Yeah, it's kind of like a mid 2000s like 3D platformer beat 'em up. It looks like,
Yeah, maybe with a little bit
which is
of first
a
person
lost
shooter
genre.
with like
Yeah.
the blunderbuss thing. Yeah, definitely looks cool. Definitely looks like the era that it's from, which is kind of interesting that they're just releasing it with like the standard, the graphics that it. I guess that it didn't come with, but you know that it was made
Yeah,
with.
I guess the story of this game is it was developed or was being made 20 years ago, and they're just now getting it out. So yeah,
Dang,
I don't know.
I don't know if that's really a great sign
Um,
because it might have been a little bit of development hell
yeah,
going on there.
yeah, and I don't. I think it is not a PlayStation exclusive. Actually, it is
Oh,
on Steam.
okay,
There is a demo, and shit, you can buy it right now.
nice.
It actually looks better on PC, quite significantly. Actually, the shaders look to be improved.
Hmm.
But yeah, I'm kind of digging that. Maybe I actually will get that. But yeah, I wanted to really take this episode to shine some light on some beautiful games that are coming out and that have come out.
Yeah.
Folks, I think that's been it. I've been your boy, Iron Meta, Frankie.
Yep. And it's your boy Kirby DK10. Peace.
And bye.